guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna do a Q&A. This is my third time attempting to film this video because I was being too ambitious the other two times, and I don't know, it's just not really that hard, and I made it harder than it needs to be. But basically, Megan! So anyway, I asked on Instagram people to ask me questions that they have about my DCP or whatever about me so far. Also, I'm really burnt on my cheeks. Shout out to parking at ESPN. But so I asked people to ask me some questions, and people sent them in, and now I have questions to answer. And like I said, I tried to film this already, and it didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. So yeah, first question is, what's your favorite costume? My favorite costume that I've worn so far, I've only worn 3. I've worn the ESPN costume, which I wear every single day, most of the time. The Asia costume for Rivers of Light, and the DAC park reading costume. And the DAC one is my favorite so far because there's like 6 different options of how you can wear it. And there's 3 different shirts, 2 different pairs of pants, or 2 different colors of pairs of pants. And the material of the costumes is like really comfortable. So I really liked that one. What has been your favorite experience so far? I don't know, I've had a lot of good experiences, but probably like the time that we all, like 5 of my friends, no, what's that, when we went to DAC that one time and went on Pandora, it was 5 of us, you weren't there. Anyway, well, one of my favorite times so far is when we all, like five out of 6 of my friends got off work at like 4 o'clock, and we all rallied and went to Animal Kingdom to get in line for Pandora. And we were like, I don't care how long the wait is gonna be, like we're gonna wait for Pandora. So we all went from our various jobs and met at Pandora, and we waited in line, and everybody went on Pandora for the first time except me because it was my second time. And it was a life-changing experience for everybody, so that was fun. What days do you work, and what days do you get to go in the parks? What days do you work, and what days do you get in the parks to yourself? I typically work on the weekends, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursdays, sometimes Mondays, but I'm typically off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because ESPN is only open on the weekends because that's when we have events. Recently, we've been open during the week because of the Braves spring training, but I typically am off during the week, which kind of sucks because all my friends are usually off like one weekend day, and then I'm not off, and then everybody goes to the park without me, and I'm sad and I cry. So I basically have 2 to 3 days off a week, just depending on what the schedule is like at ESPN and if they deploy us or not. So yeah. Do you get homesick? Like, yes and no. Like, I miss my family and everything, and I miss my friends, but I don't miss California because California sucks. Unlike popular belief, it is so much different here. Like, the people here are so much more relaxed, and California is just like really, like, I don't want to say fake, but California is just like, there's so much going on all the time, and everyone's like really competitive, and here everyone's just like really relaxed, which is like a nice break. But I definitely do miss like my family and my cats as much as anyone else. But I don't like, I haven't sat here and like wanted to go home at any point other than like to see my family. Tell us your best guest interaction so far. There was a girl, I have like 2. There was a girl who, I can't remember what my other one is now, but we had a baton twirling competition a couple weeks ago at ESPN, and I didn't really talk to any of the competitors, which usually like I talk to them, but they just sort of like very disciplined, focused girls, so I didn't really want to talk. Except these 2 girls I was talking to for like an hour because they were watching all their friends perform, and I watched one of them perform, and afterwards, like I just kind of talked to them like in passing, and then afterwards I was down park greeting, so I was down by the entrance, and one of the girls saw me, and she came like running up to me, and she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for talking to me today, like I loved talking to you, you made me feel so much better with my performance. And I was like, oh my god, like you're welcome, I guess. Like, I don't know, and I can't think of the other one, but there's definitely been like one other one where I was like, well, that was fun. I don't know, I can't remember anymore, but there's a lot of like guest interactions that are fun. What are the classes about? So I think, shut up. I think a common misconception about the DCP is that you have to take classes, or that there's like set classes that we take, and there's not. Like, they offer these seminars, which are 4 classes once a week. They're 2 hours each, and they do like So they run for a month, and so then they roll over. So after you finish one seminar, you can like register for another one, but they're not actual like classes. They're just like people, like guest speakers come and they talk to you about different things. So the one that I'm in, I think somebody else asked what class I'm in, but where's the other one? Somebody else asked what class I was in, and I want to answer both questions at the same time. But of course, I can't find the other one now. Oh, here it is. Tell us about your Disney class. So the one I'm in is called Guest Relations or Guest Experiences, Guest Services. I don't know. It's either called Guest Services, Guest Relations, or Guest Experiences. It's one of the three. But it's about guest relations and like how the parks, like our different policies for dealing with guests and things that we can do, can't do, things that are common to do. So that's really interesting. Like we have one class on guest relations, one on park operations, one on resort operations, and then I have one more and I missed a class, so that's fun. I forgot about it. And what?
I said you had a class.
I had a class. Well, I have one more. I can go next week. It's fine. But it's really interesting, and I've learned a lot about guest relations because guest relations is probably something that I want to do in the future. So I've learned a lot about like our different policies and stuff, which has given me insight like in other aspects. Like even just in my regular job, I know more things that we can offer now or that like are possible to give to guests. I won't say what because like we're not allowed to, but I definitely know now when people ask me questions or there's a tough situation that comes up, different things that I can send them to guest services for. And like things like that. How long are terms / semesters, and are there different areas of study? So like I said, there's not really like a specific area of study, but semester or terms, I guess, are a semester long. So about 4 months if you do the regular program, or if you do the advantage program, then there's 6 months. So I'm on the spring program. So we are here from the end of January till the middle of May. And then the spring advantage is here from middle of January till August or July.
No, it's till August. If you extend
from this, yeah. But then they offer, so they do offer you the option to extend if you are only here till May, and then you can like every time this term ends, you can apply to extend for like another couple months. But I will only be here till May. How close is housing to the parks? Do you have to drive on busy roads and highways to get to work? So housing, it depends on which park. So Studios, Epcot, and Animal Kingdom are all about 10 to 15 minutes away, depending on traffic. You do have to drive on the freeway, but it's not like a busy freeway. And like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel very busy. Like you only have to go on for like 5 minutes and then you get to, yeah, and then you get to the parks and then it's just like back roads. But I don't drive, 2 of my roommates do, and then one of our other friends drives. So whenever we all go to the parks, we drive, but I take the bus to work every single day. So so like I could not tell you how to get to my work from here. Like I don't know, I have no idea. I think you turn left, I don't know. Do you take the bus or drive to work? If I do the DCP, would I be okay just taking the bus? Yes, I take the bus, like I just said. But you'll be fine taking the bus. It's just kind of a pain, like it's not, like I definitely lose sleep because I have to wake up to, so like for example, if I work at 6 o'clock in the morning, my shift starts at 6. I get on the 4:50 bus and I take that bus to get there at 5:50 or 5:40. Yeah, 5:40. So I'm always about half an hour, sometimes an hour early to work, just depending on the bus, because there's, especially in the morning, there's less buses depending on where you work. ESPN has like 2 buses and everywhere else that's like busy has 3. So we just have less options for like how fast the buses come, but everybody else, it depends on, I don't know, it just depends on where you work and how early you have to get there and stuff. But the thing about working here is you do need to be there early. Like you do not want to cut it close. Like sometimes if I work an 8 a.m. shift, there's a bus that gets us there at like 7:50, and like you don't want to be on that bus because it just depends, I guess. But I always like to get there early, and so does Megan. Do you like relying on public transportation to get around for your program? I kind of already answered this. Like, I don't like it, but I'm glad that I have it because otherwise I don't know how I would get to work. I would have to Uber or like it would just be impossible if we didn't have buses. So, and I don't have to take the buses when I'm off typically because I have 5 other friends and 3 of them have cars. So typically one of them is off and we'll just like go. Otherwise, if it's like me and Megan, we just like take the bus and like that's not a big deal. But typically I don't have to get around too much. What's been your favorite part of the DCP so far? I kind of talked about it a little bit already, but being able to go to the park, okay, well, being able to go to the park whenever is fun. Like, we go to the park sometimes, like if we're all feeling it, like we'll go to the park for like 2 hours or like 3 hours until the park closes after work. So like that's fun, but it doesn't happen a lot because we're very tired, which I will talk about, but I don't know, it's fun. What is your favorite part of your location in the DCP, like where you actually work? So I work at ESPN. I think everyone hates on ESPN a lot, and like sometimes I thought I was gonna hate on ESPN, but I don't actually, like I actually like it because it's very relaxed and everybody I work with is super like relaxed. We have a lot of retired people and there's just not as much like competition, I think, is what I've heard from other positions. And everyone's like super nice, coordinators are super nice, the leaders are super nice, and like I see them constantly all the time. And I think a lot of other roles you don't see your leaders as much from what I've heard. But yeah, so like, I don't know, I think it's just the people and everything, and it's just very relaxed there for the most part. It's not as busy as the parks. So does Disney take care of how you travel from place to place? So yeah, I kind of already talked about it, the buses, you know. Do you find getting around difficult? Example, where you live, work, and school, or Disney. So I go to school online as of right now, so I don't have to worry about that. But the hardest part at the beginning, before like we went with our roommates places a lot, was the bus to go like grocery shopping. Like that is terrible. Like most likely though, if you do the program, you will meet people with cars. So like anytime somebody asks you, hey, you wanna go here, like just go with them, because otherwise you have to take the bus an hour to get to the store, and that is miserable. And I have a giant knot in my hair, but it hasn't been bad. You can also order your groceries and have them delivered here for like $4 or something. So there's also that if you like, worst comes to worst and you can't get to the grocery store on time. What's housing like? What's provided, etc.? Okay, so literally, okay, housing is not bad. Everyone makes it seem worse than it like actually is. It is about 100 times better than my school housing was, and we paid a lot. No, maybe we paid the same amount for school housing, I don't know. But basically, depending on where you live, you live with between one other person and
7 other people.
7 other people, yeah. So it just depends on where you live, what complex and whatever. The complex we live in, I'm not gonna say where because, you know, the complex we live in does not have bunk beds, which is the reason we wanted this complex. Also, it is the cheapest because we're broke. And literally, I don't know, there's not that much of a price difference between the other apartments and the one we live in, but when you make like no money, every dollar matters, you know? So we wanted to live in this one, and I did not want bunk beds, and like we were guaranteed to live in a room, like each room would only have 2 people instead of 3 because there's no bunk beds. So we wanted to do that. So we live in a 2-bedroom, 4-person apartment, and it has 2 bathrooms. So each bathroom is like in the room, so that's nice. Like we each have like a private bathroom or whatever. And they come with a bed, like a bed for each person, obviously. A shared dresser, at least where we live, a shared dresser with a mirror, 2 nightstands.
You have 2 sinks.
We have 2 sinks in each room, yeah, which is really, really nice. And then like a lot of cabinet space, a shower with a tub. You guys don't have a tub though.
We don't have a tub now.
Yeah, so like our room has a tub, but then our roommate's room does not. So it's like kind of weird. I don't know. And then we have walk-in closets, which is like really nice because I've never in my life had a walk-in closet. And those are huge and they have a ton of room for clothes and stuff. And then our kitchen, we have literally, okay, a kitchen table with 4 chairs. I have to look because I can't remember it. We have a random desk with 1 chair. We have 3 coffee tables, an armchair, and then a couch. And then like other stuff wise, we have a dishwasher, which is super nice, a refrigerator with a freezer, a microwave, a stove, which never works, but the service center fixed it for us, kind of. And then a sink. And then it also comes with like utensils, bowls, plates, cups, mugs.
You get 1 large pot, 1 pot that like is suitable for pasta.
Yeah.
You get a sauce pot.
Saucepan, yeah.
And
then like a big pot.
Yeah.
So we have like 3 pots, a pan, a frying pan, and then like 8 mugs, right?
I don't think it's 8.
Whatever. We get mugs, glasses, which are plastic, silverware, which we never have enough of. That's the only thing I would say. It's like that we don't have enough of. Favorite time to work. I actually like working in the morning. I like the 6 o'clock shift and I like the 7 o'clock shift, which is terrible because I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do that shift. But it goes by a lot faster because we're not open until 9 o'clock. So for 3 hours, I just like stand there and talk to my coworkers, which is like fun. And then the day goes by a lot faster. It's colder in the morning. It doesn't get like super, super hot until like 11. So, and then I get to go home at like 2. So I have enough time to go to the parks because while I like sleeping in for like later shifts, I usually get off at like 5. And then by the time I get home, there's like no time to go. So it like leaves your day more open when you work in the morning. And that's what like everybody agrees on. Am I right, Jess? I want to do the DCP, but I would be leaving behind my pets, my job, my boyfriend, and our house. Advice. I left behind my emotional support cat, my whole family, my boyfriend, and not a house, but like my whole family, my friends, my school, everything. And I would say, I mean, I guess it depends on how temporary it's gonna be. I think the house probably makes it a little bit more difficult. But if you can find a way to like move, or if your boyfriend wants to come with you, I don't know how old you are, what your situation is. My boyfriend is still in school and he plays baseball, so he's like very busy anyway. So that's why I wanted to go in spring rather than fall when he's off. But I don't know, I've also been doing long distance with my boyfriend for literally 2.5 years, so I think I'm just used to it at this point. But as far as like family and everything, I didn't bring my cat because you have to cage emotional support animals when you leave, and I just don't think it would be fair to cage a cat. Like I can understand creating a dog, but caging a cat is just like not, my cat would freak out if I had put him in a cage every day. Especially when I'm gone for like up to 11 hours at a time. But if you can live off property, that's also an option. You could bring your pets with you, or like, I don't know, it depends. If you're on the East Coast, it's a lot easier because you can just drive and bring all your stuff with you. It's harder if you're coming from the other side of the country because obviously you can only fly. And I mean, I guess you could drive, but it's easier to fly and obviously to see your family if you're on the East Coast. But if you can live off property, it would definitely be an option to like bring your pets, and that might make it a little bit easier, or if your boyfriend could come with you. But like, I don't know, it really depends on your situation, but I do think it's a really good opportunity, especially because it's only 4 months. So, you know, if you want the experience, or, you know, you want to put this on your resume, or you want to work for the company in the future, this is a really good way to like get in and like get the experience. But what do I know? I'm 21. Have you seen something secretive you can't tell us about? Yes. Short answer, yes. I don't know, I can't say anything else about it. I don't know, I don't even work in a very secretive place, but I've definitely seen a lot of things that like, I've seen and like heard about a lot of things that we just can't talk about because it's just, it'll ruin the magic, and also it's against policy. But do they offer you medical services at a reduced fee or free? I think if you're full-time or part-time, they offer free medical services, or like you can go there for like other things that aren't work related. I don't know, don't quote me on that, right? I don't know, Lizzie doesn't know either, but anyway, I'm pretty sure you can. But the reason that I think you're asking that is because I did go to health services a couple weeks ago because I had a crazy allergic reaction to a bug bite. I went because it was my only option because there's no other places to go around here, and I took the bus there because that's the only way I could get places. And it did happen at work, so it was covered under like workers' compensation because it technically did happen at work, even though it was like an allergic reaction. So I was able to get treated there. But I'm pretty sure you can get like flu shots there and things. Like when I was there, they have like flyers and stuff for different things, but not for CPs. It's only for part-time and full-time. ESPN, yes or no? Yes. How tired are you by the end of the day? So tired. I mean, I guess it depends on what I do that day. I'm definitely the most tired from from parking. I'm definitely the most tired from parking because we stand like out in the sun. So if it's really, really hot, it's just like you're sweating the whole day and dying a little bit inside and outside. And I'm usually burnt by the end of the day. You can see here I'm burnt. Even though I just got rid of my last sunburn, I'm burnt pretty much every time after parking, and then it's very hot and it just takes a lot out of you. So on those days, it's definitely like I have a lot less energy, and it depends on how long my shift is as well, or like when I started, what time I went to sleep, but usually very tired. So that's why I don't end up going to the parks a lot after work, because it's just like too much work, I guess. Last question, what do you pack for lunch / cook in a week? For lunch, I typically make pasta and chicken with arugula, or polenta, or just chicken and arugula. It just depends on what I have in the refrigerator. But it's the easiest thing to make. I sometimes buy lunch there too if I don't have time or whatever else. But yeah, I just bring it in a Tupperware container, and then I have like a lunchbox, which is next to me. I have a lunchbox that like the whole thing freezes, so it, like the whole thing acts as an ice pack. And then every break room, at least as far as I know, has refrigerators. So as soon as I get to work, I just put my whole lunchbox in the refrigerator, and then we have microwaves, and I heat up my food, and that's what I eat. And then as for dinner, I don't know, I eat like really random stuff for dinner. Sometimes I eat dinner at work, so I eat the same thing, or like we go out to dinner a lot. We order dinner a lot. Or I can't even think right now. I'll eat like random stuff. Like I'll eat like avocado toast for dinner sometimes. It just depends on what I have, because I kind of just try to finish everything that I have in the refrigerator before I get more food. But anyway, sorry that I haven't posted anything. This is literally the 3rd time that I'm trying to film this video, because every other time has just come out badly, or I didn't finish it, or I don't know. It's just like a whole thing. And I'm very busy here, so I just haven't had enough time to like sit down and do things. And when I do, they never come out right, because I just can't think, apparently. But yeah, I don't really know what else to post. So I'll try to make more, but I don't know. I just figured this is the easiest way to answer like recent questions, because I haven't really given an update. So yeah, anyway, catch me on Instagram. That's basically the only place that I post anything ever. So I'm there. And anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you later, I guess.
I'm slipping into the lava, and I'm